Hey there, let's talk about how to apply emotional IDEANCE process. Step 3, explore options to supersize and grow your business. We're going through the IDEANCE process, the process that we came up with in January. And this month, all month, we're focusing on emotional health and well-being in our organizations. And so we're using at the end of each month our IDEANCE process. Yesterday, we looked at what it is that we want for an emotional area or topic in our business. The day before that, we looked at what the current situation is, and probably part of why we selected that option or that particular topic. I selected fear in my personal life, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do fear for my businesses as well. Where is fear showing up in my businesses? Well, now, the first 2 steps of that are easy to do for ourselves, but they're also easy to do in our organization through a tool, one of my very favorite tools, brainstorming. So there's lots of different ways to brainstorm, and I'm not going to talk about all the techniques, but I'll share a couple. Mind mapping, when we just draw out the topic or fish diagrams, and we just start putting on there all the things that come to mind with respect to the topic. Now, what we're brainstorming today and what options we're exploring is what are the possible things we can do to fill the gap between where we are right now with respect to this emotional aspect of our business and where do we want to be. We want to go from where we are to our desired state. We all want to achieve our desired state in any area and aspect of our life. It's why we go after goals and things. So we can use mind mapping. We can use reverse brainstorming, where we focus on the negative and then go backwards, or the problem, to go backwards and find solutions. We can brainwrite, which is when we just dump ideas. It's great in groups if you want to have people be anonymous in terms of the ideas that they're putting forth. I would say if that's the situation that you're in your organization where people have to be anonymous and are afraid to speak up, that may be the emotional thing that we're looking at addressing first. Starbursting, which is when you just ask the who, what, where, when, and why of a situation or of a thing to get all of the ideas and all the information around different things so you don't miss anything as you're actually ferreting out the one thing that you want to work on. And then rapid ideation. I love this one because it's just, you set a timer, like say you call a group together and you say, okay, for 15 minutes, we're going to brainstorm all the possible ways to go from here to there. And you just give a quick synopsis on where you are or where you think you are as an organization. And hopefully you've done it with the group already, and where you want to be with the organization, with the emotional topic that you've selected. And then we're going to keep in mind, there's certain guidelines that we follow when we're brainstorming to get better results. First and foremost, we want to go for quantity, not quality. We just want everybody blasting out as many ideas as they possibly can. We want to defer judgment and not judge any of those ideas as they're being thrown out. We just want to capture them. Nowadays with technology, it's really easy. We can just do video, we can do recordings or whatever, and then have somebody take notes later. That way everybody can participate. We want to encourage wild ideas. This is another one of my favorite things about brainstorming. One of the things I've learned over decades of using brainstorming with different groups and on myself and with all kinds of different situations is that the crazier the idea that you begin with, but by the time you then go back and refine these ideas, sometimes it's the crazy, wildest idea that ends up being the one that you choose and gives you the best results because it's so different and thinking outside the box of what normally happens in business and in our industries and our life. It tends to be an industry disruptor, which gives us much more incredible results than if we're just going along with the flow and doing what everybody else is doing. Stay focused on the topic, build on other people's ideas. Brainstorming is all about a kernel of an idea and then everybody piling onto it to make it better and better and better. One conversation at a time. In groups, this is really important. Otherwise, you miss ideas, and it might be the one idea that's the best option for you right now. And then finally, use visuals to help. I think visual stimulation and pictures and things really help me to brainstorm and be more creative in what I'm thinking. And I think they do a lot of other people as well. So what are we doing today? Today we are brainstorming at least 10. And this is my favorite guideline. It's not really it's my framework for brainstorming. I make myself, especially if I'm just brainstorming on my own, come up with at least 10 possible alternatives when I'm brainstorming. We're looking for alternatives to fill the gap between where we are and where we want to be. And I make myself say I'm just doing this by myself for my businesses today. I have to come up with 10 ideas. Now, if I'm doing it with a group of 3 people, I set the expectation that the three of us will come up with at least 30 ideas. So I do multiples of 10 for how many of our people are in the group. So if we have 15 people in the group, we have to come up with 150 ideas as quickly as we possibly can, and before we'll stop our session. I know it seems like a lot, but I don't usually brainstorm with 15 people. I think the maximum I like to brainstorm with is about 7. Once we get past 5 or 7 people, it just gets to be a lot. But then we're going to use this 1031 tool tomorrow and in conjunction with other tools for the next step in the IDEANCE process. But today, all I want you to do is get out and write down as many ideas to fill this gap as you can with respect to the emotional topic that you're working on for your business. If you need any help with this, if you have any questions, please ask. I've literally done tens of thousands of brainstorming sessions in my life and in my career. So if I can help you, I would love to. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.